Hello students, welcome to Competitive Exam Library YouTube channel. Today we are going to see what is the meaning of second order system, how they are going to respond with the different inputs. So let us see what is the meaning of second order system and what are the standard form of the second order system also. Today we are going to see here. See, if you observe the standard form of the second order system, for that purpose I have taken one closed loop transfer function, having, so let us consider the transfer function of this closed loop will be C of s divided by R of s. That means you are giving the input as R of s and you are giving the output, you are getting the output as C of s and you are giving a unity feedback. So with this basics we can take the standard form of the second order system. Whenever you consider the standard form of the second order system, here we can write in this box that is equals to omega n square divided by s into s plus 2 zeta omega n. So this is the system. For this we can write what is the C of s divided by R of s. C of s divided by R of s we can write that is equals to omega n square divided by s into s plus 2 zeta omega n is equals to whole divided by 1 plus omega n square divided by s into s plus 2 zeta omega n into 1 you are going to get. So here you bring this LCM on this side and this LCM denominator numerator will get cancelled, and finally you will have omega n square divided by s into s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. So this is the standard form of the second order system. I will write that also in the next page. See, we are going to write that is C of s divided by R of s is equals to what we can write omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. So this is called as the standard form of the second order system. Whenever you consider this standard form of the second order system, so here you are going to get like this. So let us consider the standard form of the second order system here. So here you will have some different terminology what we are used here. We can write this as we can define what is that omega n. Omega n is known as, so that is known as undamped natural frequency. Undamped natural frequency, and zeta is known as damping factor. Zeta is known as damping ratio, or it may be also called as damping factor also. It may be also called as damping factor. So these are the two important new terms what we are used in the second order system. So this is called as the what we are going to call, this will be called as the standard form of the second order system. Very important for the exam. So this is a very important. So you have to remember the standard form of the second order system. So whenever you consider this standard form and the dynamic, okay, very important thing is the dynamic behavior of system can be described by factors, that is, what is that factors? Omega n and zeta. So that is the importance of that. So you are going to take the zeta and omega n, that is the importance. So if you want to know the dynamic behavior of the system, you have to consider the factors of omega n and zeta. So whenever you want to define the characteristics of any system, how we are going to define the characteristics of any system? By making the denominator, that is so let us consider the transfer function is P of s divided by Q of s. If you make the denominator is equals to 0, that is called as the characteristic equation. So Q of s will become 0. In this second order system, the Q of s will be s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square is equals to 0. So by taking this, we are going to derive, so we are going to see what is the that means what is the behavior of the second order system. So characteristics of the second order systems can be decided by using this equation. Okay, so let us see. So whenever you make equal, that is s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square is equals to 0. So you can make this as just I am adding and subtracting. So here I am doing one thing for my convenience purpose, subtracting zeta square omega n square, so that I am going to get in the standard form. See here, s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus zeta square omega n square plus omega n square minus zeta square omega n square. I think so there is no wrong, just I have added and subtracted, so that I am going to get here. If you observe this first part, if you observe this first part here, so what you can observe, so this part we can write it as one standard form, that will be written as like this. So what is this? S plus zeta omega n whole square we can write, s plus zeta omega n whole square, plus in the second part we can take out omega n square as common, then we can write 1 minus zeta square is equals to 0. Let us assume omega d is equals to omega n into under root of zeta square. So here I am considering omega d square. Actually omega d square will be omega n square into 1 minus zeta square. Actually just I have written, so otherwise we can write like that only. So because you may get confused if I write like this, omega d square is equals to what we can write, that is equals to omega n square into 1 minus zeta square. So omega d can be written as omega n into under root of 1 minus zeta square. So this is also very important formula, all of you should remember this. So what is this formula here? So this is the one more important formula, omega d square, omega d is equals to omega n into under root of 1 minus zeta square. Okay, right. So now let us consider the normal equation here. Now you come back here, s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega d square is equals to 0. So s plus zeta omega n whole square is equals to minus omega d square we can write. So taking as square roots, so we can write this is also s plus zeta omega n square. In place of minus I am writing here j square omega d square, j square omega d square. So what you are going to get, s plus zeta omega n, you are going to get one as j omega d, and another thing will be s plus zeta omega n, you are going to get it as minus j omega d. So you are going to get 2. Now let us take the two roots here. S1 is equals to minus zeta omega n plus j omega d, and S2 we are considering minus zeta omega n minus j omega d. So you got two roots here. So S1 is another root, S1 is one root, S2 is the another root. So these are the two roots are very important. So let us take these two roots also, S1 and also S2. So S1 and S2 will decide the nature of the system. So based upon that, so as we know the zeta and as we know, zeta and omega n are the important factors for determining the dynamic behavior of the system. Based upon that, we are going to vary. So either it may be a zeta. By varying a zeta, we are going to get some different cases. Let us see that different cases of that. So let us consider here case 1. Here I am considering case 1 is equals to when zeta is equals to 0. Zeta is equals to 0. That case will be called as undamped case. So when the case is undamped case, what is the response of the system? What is the response of the system? So let us substitute S1 you are having minus zeta omega n plus j omega d, and S2 you are having minus zeta omega n minus j omega d. See, these are the two roots you are having, and you can write this as omega n plus j into omega n into under root of 1 minus zeta square. S2 is equals to minus zeta omega n minus j into omega n into under root of 1 minus zeta square. So this is S1 and this is S2. Now we are going to substitute zeta is equals to 0. Whenever you substitute zeta is equals to 0, what is S1 value? S1 value will become, so that will become j omega n. Next, what about S2 value? S2 value will become minus j omega n. That means here you are getting roots are, what the nature we can say, roots are imaginary, we can write. So roots are imaginary. Okay, so that is the nature whenever you are getting the case 1 condition. Let us consider case 2, another case we will take. So whenever the case, another case will be, let us consider zeta is equals to 0, that is called critically damped case. So this is called as the critically damped case. Whenever it is a critically damped case, what will happen? So you can see. So let us consider S1 is equals to minus zeta omega n plus j omega d. S2 is equals to minus zeta omega n minus j omega d. So in this case, if you substitute zeta is equals to 1, what you are going to get? S1 is equals to minus zeta omega n plus j into omega n into under root of 1 minus zeta square. S2 is equals to minus zeta omega n minus j into omega n into under root of 1 minus zeta square. So zeta you substitute it as equals to 1. Whenever you substitute zeta is equals to 0, what you are going to get? S1 is equals to, that will be minus omega n. S2 will become, what is S2 will become also minus omega n. So what we can say? Roots are nature, we can say roots are real and equal. So that is the nature of the response whenever you are getting the case 2 condition. Let us consider the case 3 condition also. Let us take another condition, that is case 3. Case 3. So in the case 3, we are considering that the range of the zeta will be, that is varying in between 0 less than zeta less than 1. So this is called as the under damped conditions. Under damping condition, how the nature of the roots will be. So whenever the nature of under damping condition, so what we can say, S1 and S2 are complex conjugate. So I will define what is the meaning of this complex conjugate roots. So let us take what is the meaning of this complex conjugate root. Means real part of both roots have same magnitude. Real part will have same magnitude. Okay, real part will have same magnitude and polarity, but imaginary part, see, imaginary part also have same magnitude. It is also having same magnitude only, but opposite polarity. but opposite polarity here. So this is the case for whenever you make this as S1 and S2 are complex conjugate root, that is the case which will be called as the under damped condition. In this case you are going to get tan theta will be, I will show how you are getting this, 1 minus zeta square divided by zeta, and sin theta will be, that is equals to, we can write that as under root of 1 minus zeta square, and cos theta will be, that even be written as zeta. So how you are getting these formulas, and very important this formulas also, let us take this formulas also very important. Okay, all of you, sorry, you should note down this formulas also. After this, let us consider another case, that is the final case, case 4 will be, that is the case we are considering the range of zeta will be, which is zeta will be greater than 1, that is called as the over damped case, which is called as over damped case. In this case, in the over damped case, how the roots you are going to get, the roots will be S1 and S2 are real and different. We can say S1 and S2 are real and different. So with this nature, we can draw the graph of the second order system, so that you can understand very easily how the nature will be. So let us draw the graph of the second order system. So I am drawing the graph here. So this is imaginary axis and this is the real axis. Here also real, here also minus part, this is minus imaginary, this is the minus real. Okay. So whenever the cases consider, so let us consider the case 1. So what is the case 1 here? We have taken case 1, we have taken when zeta is equals to 0. When zeta is equals to 0, you are getting S1 is equals to what you are getting, that is j omega n, and S2 you are getting, that is minus j omega n. So first I am going to represent. So the roots are what we can say, the roots are imaginary numbers, but they are having the opposite polarity. So let us identify. Here you take zeta omega n, and here I am taking minus zeta omega n. So these are the two cases when you are getting zeta is equals to 0. These are the two roots you are getting when zeta is equals to 0. Let us consider another case, that is first we will consider the case 2. So what is the case 2 here? Case 2 will be, let us consider. So how you are taken case 2, I am writing here because for place convenience. Case 2 will be, we are taken zeta is equals to 1, then what you are getting, S1 is equals to minus omega n, that S2 is also minus omega n. That means the roots are equal. Okay. So now we are getting the roots will be equal here. So you have to take what are the roots you are getting here, that you have to take the equal roots. So let us take this. Let us take this. These are the two equal roots are present at same point. So this is the case when zeta is equals to 1. Zeta is equals to 1 here. Next we have considered another case will be, that is case 3. What is the case 3 we have taken? That is the range will be 0 less than zeta less than 1. How the roots will be? Roots are complex conjugate roots. You are getting complex conjugate roots. So how the nature will be, we are already told. So that means it is starting from 0. Whenever zeta is equals to 0, the condition is here. Whenever zeta is equals to 1, this is the place here. So it will starts from here. I will draw the graph will be, it will starts from 0 and reaches to 1. Then once again it will starts from 1, then it will reaches to 0. So this is the nature. This is the graph we can say 0 less than zeta less than 1. So this is the roots are will be placed on this graph, what we can say for the range is called, roots will be complex conjugate with each other. So how the roots nature will be, we are already told. So whenever you consider the complex conjugate, let us consider this example here. So I will show what is the theta and all those things here. So here you are getting, let us consider on x axis and y axis. So this length we are going to call, this is called as the triangle, we can take this angle will be called as the theta, and this length will be called, what is this length? This length will be called as the zeta omega n, and this length on y axis we are going to call it as, that is omega n into under root of 1 minus zeta square. I think so. Now you got this. By taking this, what you are going to get, this hypotenuse will be, that is equals to omega n. So now you got, so how you are getting from this triangle we can define what is the tan theta and what is the sin theta. Tan theta will be under root of 1 minus zeta square divided by zeta. Sin theta will be under root of 1 minus zeta square. Cos theta will be zeta only. So this is how you got this. After that, the fourth case, what we have considered, the fourth case will be case 4, what you are getting here, that is zeta is greater than 1. So for zeta is greater than 1, what is the roots will be? Roots are real and different. How you are getting? The roots are real and different. So you have to take the roots are real and different. So whenever you take the two roots here, so let us consider, so I am representing the roots will be here with this. So one root if you take here, another root if you take, this is the case for zeta is equals to 1, this is zeta greater than 1, this is also zeta greater than 1. One root is going in this direction, another root is going in this direction. So root is going in this direction, one root is going in this direction. So we can stay real and different roots when zeta is greater than 1. So this is the entire graph of the second order system. By varying of zeta value, how it is going to vary the, how it is going to affect the system. Okay. So that's all in this video. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe the channel. If you have any query, please make comment in the comment box. I can reply. Thank you very much.